Inequality and equity. What is the difference between the two and what do they really mean? Inequality is unequal access to opportunities. Equity is custom tools that identify and address inequality. Let's use different countries' healthcare systems to show the differences between the two. The U.S. has an unequal healthcare system, and here's why. Exhibit 4 shows the difference between healthcare spending on the x-axis and healthcare outcomes on the y-axis. It is clear that we spend far more money than other developed nations but receive far worse healthcare outcomes. Another clear example of the inequality is our infant mortality rates. As shown, African Americans have the highest infant mortality rates. As you move down the chart, they are followed by Native Americans, Hispanics, whites, and then Asians. If you want to find something interesting, they correlate inversely with incomes. The lower your income, the higher your mortality rate. A clear sign of inequality. Let's switch over to another nation, New Zealand. What makes New Zealand's healthcare system more equitable than the United States? The biggest difference between the two is they have a centrally planned healthcare system versus America's privatized system. This means everyone in New Zealand gets equal access to treatment no matter their income. This makes their system more equal, but what makes them more equitable? The answer is their healthcare costs are factored into the tax system. This means no matter if you make a low income or a high income, you will receive the same treatment as everyone else. The centrally planned system is a custom tool that identifies the inequality and aims to eliminate them. Just look at the difference. Infant mortality, insurance coverage, quality of healthcare systems over cost, quality in general, cost per capita, here's the US, and here's New Zealand. Let's flip back to Exhibit 4. You can see all of these countries clumped up here and the US down here. The question is why? What do they all have in common? Every single one of these countries has a centrally planned healthcare system except the US. Ultimately, the systemic barrier preventing the U.S. from becoming equitable like the rest of these countries is a privatized healthcare system. The privatized healthcare system in the U.S. leads to unequal access in healthcare, where a centrally planned healthcare system such as New Zealand is more equitable since it includes universal healthcare which addresses this inequality. So the next time someone calls you a communist socialist for wanting a more equitable healthcare system, show them this video. They may have a better perspective afterwards. Here are the sources we referenced.